Welcome back. Just a quick clarification before we dive in, because I know some of you will watch these weeks, months, or even years later. These videos are built with future viewing in mind, not just for the current week. That's why I'm deliberate about stating ahead of time when I won't be trading or live streaming on X. I want a time-stamped record. If there are missing dates in the live streams, it's not because anything was deleted due to performance. It's me choosing not to sit in front of the charts every single day. This week I was occupied on Monday and Tuesday, and I choose to take Friday off. That's why there were only 2 live stream sessions. Now, here's the subtle trap that catches almost every trader once they pass the beginner stage. They start believing that time away from the charts equal wasted time. That if they are not glued to the screens, they are falling behind. But let's flip that mindset. Presence does not equal productivity. Screen time does not equal edge. In fact, some of the sharpest, most consistent professionals I know, their real edge comes from knowing exactly when not to trade. Sometimes the single most professional decision you can make is staying on the sidelines, preserving capital, not just what's in your account but your mental capital too. Wait for the market to actually offer something worth your risk, not everyday reward action. Discipline isn't trading for the sake of seeing your P&L go up and down for entertainment. It's refusing to play when the odds aren't stacked in your favor. Be selective. Start respecting the power of deliberate inaction. Alright, let's get to what's actually happening. Right now, a ton of traders are visibly frustrated with this extended Nasdaq consolidation. I see it everywhere in the timeline. And here's the psychological pressure of consolidation. It creates ambiguity. You see the setup, you take the entry, and there's no follow through. You chase the breakout, immediate reversal. When it does move, it goes straight to liquidity without giving you an entry. That's when self-doubt starts to creep in. You start questioning, does my model still work? Am I doing something wrong? Am I missing something? Or worse, you start being more aggressive. This is the exact moment competent traders sabotage themselves. Not from lack of knowledge, but from trying to force clarity in an environment that refuses to give it. Here's the nuance that most people miss. A long consolidation is never just boring sideways action. When price compresses for an extended period like this here, it usually means the big players, the ones with real capitals, are quietly positioning. Because of their size, they require time and liquidity to enter the market. This is also why you see higher time frame sell signals while price continue to grind higher or move sideways. It's not necessarily invalidation, it's just absorption. They are positioning themselves ahead of the real move. They are not emotionally pressured by time. Retail traders, on the other hand, don't usually have that luxury. I'm putting myself in this category too, we start feeling it after a few weeks. We crave follow-through, confirmation, something to validate our bias. And when it doesn't come, we start projecting our own desire onto the chart instead of reading what's actually there. That internal pressure, way more dangerous than the consolidation itself. Which brings us straight back to the daily fair value gap I point out in the first video of this series. If that gap had remained open, that would have told me that the market was ready to expand. But once price come back and retest that gap, the narrative changed. What was my reaction? Did I stubbornly hold on to my bearish bias? No. I reduced activity, shifted focus to smaller, higher probability runs, long or short, whatever the market actually offered. That's reading the market. Adjusting exposure to what price is communicating. Being precise about where risk actually goes. Over the weekend, the Middle East tensions escalated again. A lot of fear-driven narrative circulating right now, but let's stay grounded. If true global escalation happens, that's outside of our control. So instead of reacting emotionally, let's do what traders supposed to do. We assess how price responds. With that said, let's shift into the technical aspect of this commentary. Let us zoom out to the weekly chart. Everyone calls it consolidation, but let's get precise. Measure it properly. Premium to discount. Where has price been spending most of its time? Mostly up in premium, right? Now let's bring this full circle. Large players, as I mentioned earlier, position themselves during consolidation. Once they establish their books, price no longer need to remain compressed. We saw the manipulation above 26,200, then a bearish structural break, then a return back into premium before the weekend close. And now over the weekend, the geopolitical headline, that's a perfect setup for an expansion. But environments like this are also prime for sharp repricings. Sentiment can shift fast. This is not the time to increase activity. It's time to be surgical. My objective this week, those relative equal lows around 24,135.5. Structurally, I am firmly bearish into that liquidity pool. If I'm right, price will confirm it. If I'm wrong, I'll know quickly and I'll adapt. That's the plan, and now I'll execute.